Now in 4 News Now at 6, Spokane on lockdown because of mysterious illness spreading across the country. What you need to know if you're planning on boarding your dog.
I'm tracking the next round of wet weather on the way. I'll show you how it could impact your travel plans in the First Alert forecast.
And who should control what goes on the shelves at libraries in Liberty Lake? Why some are against giving the city council the final say when it comes to what kids are allowed to check out. You're watching 4 News Now at 6. And we begin with breaking news tonight. Israel's cabinet has approved a ceasefire deal with Hamas. The fighting would be put on hold for 4 days, and 50 of the roughly 240 hostages being held in Gaza would be released. As of now, it's not clear when the ceasefire would go into effect. The government saying the first hostages to be released would be women and children. Now, this is a developing story, and we'll keep you up to date as we learn more. Here now is a live look over I-90 where the roads are dry for now, but we do have rain on the way ahead of one of the busiest travel days of the year. Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker is tracking this storm. So, Chris, will this rain impact your travel plans?
Very minimally. Even if you are traveling over the passes, this is light precipitation, and a lot of it will be long gone even before tomorrow morning's rush. But we are tracking rain showers in the First Alert weather forecast on our satellite and radar right now. We're dry across eastern Washington, just starting to see the wet weather moving onto the west side of the state with this system. Snow levels are going to be very high, even at 4,000 feet and above, the highest mountains over the Cascades. Little to no accumulation is expected with this system. And in the valleys in eastern Washington, it is mostly just plain old rain. Here's our forecast radar. Starting off at the current time, we'll see that very light rain moving in right around midnight with snow levels up around 4,000 feet. But again, accumulation there will be minimal. We'll see that light rain moving through the I-90 corridor around midnight and continuing through the overnight. But here's 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, and that rain will be long gone, moving into the southern panhandle where the snow will continue in the mountains down around Moscow. Some light rain, and we are dry across the rest of the region. Here's a look at your Wednesday planner. Expect partly to mostly cloudy skies throughout the day after that morning rain. A high temperature of 41 is just about average. Pretty nice weather heading into Thanksgiving. I will have your Thanksgiving forecast and let you know what to expect traveling back home over the passes. That's coming up in just a few minutes. Derek.
All right, Chris, if you are hitting the road this week, you are certainly not alone. AAA estimates 49 million people will be driving to their Thanksgiving Day destinations. If you're heading west, you want to drive over Snoqualmie Pass early tomorrow. The Department of Transportation expects traffic to be at its worst around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And you'll definitely want to get to wherever you're going before 6 o'clock.
Because at that point, you're mixing holiday travelers on the roads with commuters, people who have to work on Wednesday.
Now, the good news for drivers is gas prices are much cheaper this Thanksgiving compared to last year by about 12 cents in Spokane and 20 cents in Coeur d'Alene. The Spokane City Council is taking steps to combat the city's housing crisis. The council approved an ordinance meant to increase the number of middle housing options. That means things like duplexes, triplexes, and quadplexes. The goal here is to spur developers into building those types of properties, allowing someone to buy a home at a lower cost than a single-family home. It could also lower rental prices.
The first apartment I lived in here in 2019 cost $675 a month. That same apartment now rents for $1,250 per month. Spokane families can't keep up with these housing prices.
Now, this is just one of the plans local leaders are using to keep people from being priced out of the housing market. To see how one advocacy group is trying to close the housing inequality gap in Spokane, watch our Inland Northwest Housing Crisis Special on your connected TV on the KXLY Plus app. If you plan to board your dogs during this holiday season, you may want to rethink it. One local animal shelter has been closed for weeks now because of mysterious respiratory illness that's spreading amongst dogs across the country. Peter Choi, is live at Spokane tonight. And Peter, there are a lot of dogs under quarantine there right now.
Yeah, Derek, there are 51 dogs inside the shelter. At least 30 are sick right now, and they actually had to put a dog down because of the illness, and people who came to adopt dogs today, they weren't allowed to go inside the buildings, but instead they had to do adoption process outside.
I hadn't heard about it on the news, or it hadn't been on my radar actually.
Everybody's looking good.
Mike Bustos came to Spoke Animal to get a new fur family member. Because of sick animals, he had to take extra steps to meet the dog.
Set up an appointment for me to come and visit with the dog, and I met with them, and we came outside. I introduced one of their dogs to my dog.
Bustos says he has faith in staff, especially when it's difficult to tell the cause of sickness.
I feel pretty confident they have a good vet here. I feel pretty confident that they're keeping the healthy dogs quarantined from the non-healthy dogs.
Makes me want to cry. We're all just really tired.
The center's executive director says staff noticed illness for the first time in September.
We thought we had a really bad case of kennel cough, so we closed down just to be proactive. But the meds were not cutting the kennel cough, so we're like, okay, what's going on?
The director says the center is doing what they can to keep dogs safe.
Being extremely careful, so we have our quarantine going on, staff only in and out. We're doing round-the-clock care. We're doing medications, obviously antibiotics. We're not sure if those are even working because no one knows what this is. We are saving the dogs. We're using nebulizers and every possible thing that you can imagine we're doing to take care of the dogs. Bright-eyed, looking all clear.
She says make sure your dog is up to date on their vaccinations. Get a home pet sitter instead. Contact local vets immediately if you see runny eyes and noses in dogs.
Now, if you still want to adopt dogs, you can still do it as long as dogs are their symptoms are asymptomatic, and contact the office. And of course, you got to make a reservation ahead of time. In Spokane, Peter Choi, 4 News Now.
Yeah, feel for those dogs and for Dory and her staff as well. Well, a man accused of domestic violence is in jail tonight after Spokane Valley police say he barricaded himself inside an apartment this morning. The Spokane County Sheriff's Office says it had probable cause to arrest 50-year-old Travis Torman because of an incident that took place yesterday. During that incident, he threatened to shoot at officers. This morning, officers in tactical gear were called to the area of 4th and McDonald. After several hours, Torman came out and surrendered. Well, still ahead, what factors may have contributed to this military plane from Whidbey Island ending up in a bay in Hawaii. And a descendant of Sacagawea visits Sacagawea Middle School. Her message to the students on the importance of learning about Native American heritage next.
Download the KXLY Plus app on your connected TV.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Cal Superstore in Airway Heights. Money Sense, brought to you by Washington Trust Bank.
Identity theft can happen to anyone, but you can reduce the risk of becoming a victim by taking some simple steps to safeguard your personal information.
One of the most important steps protecting your personal information is not to share it and to make sure you keep it safe, whether it's in paper form, in an online account, mobile device, computer, things of that nature.
So how can people get started?
For physical documents, be sure to store them in a safe place, whether at work or at home. Don't leave your sensitive information in your car. When you're done with documents and things of that nature and you no longer need them, be sure to shred them.
What is the best way to make sure your identity is protected?
One of the most effective ways is to monitor your credit report on a regular basis, review your account statements, or review your account online. If you notice anything unusual, contact your financial institution right away.
Money Sense is brought to you by Washington Trust Bank.
Ready for Black Friday deals? Well, how about if on the morning before Thanksgiving, you could have your own Black Friday detective working early for you, revealing the best deals out there, the coolest stuff, the biggest savings. It's happening live for you tomorrow on GMA.
Adventure awaits at Silver Mountain Resort this winter. Enjoy some of the best terrain in the region, only 30 minutes east of Coeur d'Alene, right off I-90. Family, friends, and smiles as big as the wide-open vistas. Relax in a beautiful condo just a stroll away from dining, water slides, indoor surfing, and 84 degrees. And a gondola ride away from our new covered carpet lift, tubing, and acres of snow rider heaven. Your winter adventure awaits at Silver Mountain. Book today at silvermt.com.
Have you been looking for the perfect pre-owned vehicle and wondered, where have all the used cars gone?
At Coeur d'Alene Honda, we have the best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Whether you're looking for a Toyota, Subaru, Ford, or maybe that perfect Honda.
Every pre-owned vehicle is quality inspected and ready for you to take home today. We work with local lenders to get you the rate you deserve.
Inventory changes daily, so come see us at Coeur d'Alene Honda or visit us on our website at cdahonda.com.
Spokane's grand holiday tradition lives at Christmas Tree Elegance in the Davenport Hotel and River Park Square. Fabulous packages raffled to support our symphony.
We want a tree.
We want a tree, and so can you.
Well, those are hundreds of kids cheering in excitement while hearing from a descendant of the famous Native American woman, Sacagawea. Descendants of Sacagawea, who was a key part of the Lewis and Clark expedition, visited Sacagawea Middle School today to speak to those students about who she was and what she stood for. Marissa Rio was there and shares their message.
Sacagawea was around the same age as these middle school students when she was captured. Her descendants came here today to talk to the student body about the resiliency and independence that her name stands for.
Over 900 kids piled into the school's gym to hear from Sacagawea's descendants. Her great-great-great niece led the assembly.
I feel it's important for them in carrying the name by their school to understand the context of her name and how she got her name and the traditional aspects of it.
Sacagawea was given her name when she was 3 years old during a traditional Shoshone tribe ceremony.
Also understanding who Sacagawea is, understanding her culture, and also knowing that she has a legacy, but that legacy is a part of them.
Abrahamson taught the students Native American Sign Language and told Sacagawea's story. She was captured at a young age and helped Lewis and Clark during their expedition in the early 1800s.
We learned a lot about how they were mistreated in their history, and we learn a lot about history so that we don't repeat it.
Abrahamson said Sacagawea knew how to do almost everything by the age of 12, the same age a lot of middle school students are.
Just kind of crazy to think she got taken, ripped away from her family at such a young age, pretty much how old I am now, and to just be on her own and have to know all these skills, but still persevere through it and be such a strong and courageous woman.
The assembly ended with some Native American dancing. Abrahamson said she hopes students leave today knowing that we are a human tribe and we are all in this together. Reporting in Spokane, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
Here are 4 things to know about your weather. Some light rain coming overnight with mountain snow and not much of it, unfortunately. Skiers, a dry Thanksgiving, and then we are heading into a cold weekend. I'll let you know what to expect after the break.
Download the KXLY Plus app for live updates all day.
Take your green at Jennifer's Auto Sales and Service.
You know, there's millions of people without the health insurance they need.
I get it. You feel like it's too pricey, a headache to deal with, and not worth it.
You deserve something better and better. We're on a mission to get everyone high-quality health insurance. We have plans with as low as $0 out-of-pocket premiums, a network of local doctors, and a rewards program for making healthy choices.
Nice.
That's why we're America's #1 marketplace health insurance. So call us or go online now. And Better Health. On a mission for better.
Thank you for getting groceries, Mija.
Of course. Happy to help. Will Medicare cover any of these bills?
I thought it would, but it doesn't.
We'll get through this. I will always be here for you.
I know. But what about you? I don't ever want you to be in this situation.
Don't worry, Dad. With WA Cares, I'm earning long-term care benefits with each paycheck. That money will be there when I need it.
Find out how the WA Cares Fund can help.
Do you have property damage? Burke's Restoration provides full-service emergency response for residential and commercial disasters. Wind damage? Burke's can handle that. Is flooding your problem? Burke's Restoration knows just what to do. Fire or smoke damage? Call Burke's today. You didn't plan on a disaster, but you have a choice on who restores it. Choose the best. Burke's Restoration takes care of fire, smoke, wind, or water damage and more. Tell your insurance company you choose Burke's Restoration. Call or click today.
Whatever the holidays mean to you, get the most out of them in a new Honda. Whether it's taking in the lights with all your friends in a spacious Accord, or taking in a snow day in a rugged CR-V. Your holiday adventure awaits with a new Honda during Happy Honda Days. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
It's that time of year again. The lights at Cowley Park are going to be lit up this holiday season, and we've got a lot of new stuff coming in. It's going to be a wonderful ground display. 4 News Now, the Extreme Team, making spirits bright. Brought to you by Ace Hardware and Horizon Credit Union.
How cute are those students at the Hope Center celebrating Thanksgiving with our own Mark Peterson? The Hope Center is the only program in Eastern Washington that offers classes for children with hearing issues from birth to preschool.
And earlier this year, Mark and the rest of the Extreme Team helped remodel that space, including a big adventure room. And that's where kids got some cooking lessons, all while learning some new words ahead of their friendship feast.
What's great about this is our kids who are profoundly deaf, they get to talk with their grandparents, their cousins, their aunts and their uncles, instead of using sign language.
What a cool thing for all of them, right, to be able to interact in that way.
And how adorable as well.
No doubt. Well, if you'd like to see all the work that went into upgrading the center, head to KXLY.com and click on the Extreme Team tab.
It is looking good over the passes right now,
Great.
Derek. I tell you what, I checked the X/Twitter feed of Snoqualmie Pass right before going on air, and they are busy making jokes about defrosting turkeys. That's a good sign. When when the DOT is making jokes, you know it is pretty easy going. Some light precipitation expected at all the passes, a little bit heavier on this side heading east. Rain at 4th of July Pass coming tomorrow. Some snow at Lookout Pass, but it will be minimal. And Department of Transportation, I'm sure, will be keeping on top of that. Some light showers coming overnight tonight. I really think in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, it's all going to be rain. May start to see some snow trying to mix in, but I think by the time we get down to those kind of temperatures, we'll be dry. Light morning rain, a high temperature of 41 degrees. Here's a look at our chance of precipitation over the next several hours. It goes up to 20% at 2 a.m., 60% at 4 a.m., and then begins dwindling, finally down to 0 at 10 a.m. But I think that may be a little late. I think we'll be a little bit earlier and perhaps wrap up a little bit earlier as well. Precipitation forecasts, our forecast rainfall totals in general, only a couple tenths of an inch expected. Many locations even less than that. 100th at Bonners Ferry, 800ths at Ritzville, and then the next big thing moves in. We are going to be seeing some cold weather. The coldest weather of the season is on the way for the weekend. We're just a hair above average the next couple of days. This black line right here is our average high. It's at 40 right now, slipping below Friday and then dropping even further below for the weekend and into early next week. These are our high temperatures. Overnight lows will also be at some of the coldest readings we've seen so far. We'll be down in the 20s. Now, that's not saying much. It has been a very mild season so far. It's hard to get too excited about the 20s, but we haven't quite acclimated to our winter yet because it has been so mild. It is a northeasterly flow, and so it's not only bringing in cold air, it's also bringing in dry air. So no snow to go along with those cold temperatures, and it's going to help scour out the fog, so we might actually get a little bit of sunshine, and I know that is welcome news to many people in the inland Northwest who tend to get the blues around here this time of year with the low clouds and fog that like to persist. We're going to start the day off tomorrow with temperatures right around freezing, if not a little bit above, over much of the region. We'll be colder up in those northern valleys, but I think you'll be dry by the time you would start to see any snow. Wednesday's highs will be in the 40s. just about everywhere, including 41 in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Then we're dry for Thanksgiving. Actually, a pretty nice Thanksgiving. Partly cloudy skies, 42 degrees, some sunshine coming on Friday and Saturday. That'll put you in the holiday spirit. And then partly cloudy as we get into next week, and still quite cool. Those overnight lows down in the 20s through the rest of the 7-day forecast, Derek.
All right, Chris, thank you so much. Well, for many, once Thanksgiving dinner is done, the hunt for Black Friday deals is on. ABC's Melissa Adon has some expert tips on how to save some cash.
Holiday shopping has been going on for weeks, even before Black Friday, which used to be the start of the season.
Black Friday still is definitely a thing, but it's not just on the day of Black Friday anymore. So you kind of have to think of Black Friday as a season or as the entirety of Thanksgiving week.
So here's some tips on ways to get good deals. Black Friday is a great time to buy clothing, gift cards, and home goods.
Especially those smaller appliances. Think vacuums, countertop appliances like air fryers, and anything you need for your kitchen. Those are always very deeply discounted during Black Friday.
Another popular item on a lot of shopping lists, TVs.
The number one thing that you should always wait until Black Friday to buy is a TV. We've seen year after year that they hit their absolute best prices on Black Friday itself.
If you're considering shopping online versus in person, there are some advantages.
You can immediately compare prices across retailers very, very quickly, which you can't always, do as quickly when you're in a physical store. The other advantage of shopping online is that you can immediately start looking up promo codes, cashback offers, and things that make the deals a little sweeter.
You might also be able to save by using social media.
So if you follow your retailers online or brands especially, you may be able to get access to exclusive savings such as coupon codes and other discounts that they're going to offer exclusively through those venues, whether on Instagram or TikTok or Twitter.
And of course, it's always smart to shop around.
For a lot of items on Black Friday, it can really pay off if you take that extra moment to compare across retailers. They're all competing with each other.
Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Well, if your friends and family are more into plants, one great gift option is a poinsettia. If you do decide to gift plants, there are extra steps you can take to make sure they stay healthy throughout the winter. Poinsettias are described as medium plants. They do well in temperatures around 70 degrees, and they don't need to be watered too often, and they need just 6 hours of sunlight a day.
Temperature, most people keep their home around 68 to say 72. That's perfect for a poinsettia. And as far as the water is concerned, just keep them a medium moisture content. Don't let them dry out, and don't let them sit in water.
Now, some signs of an issue to look out for include the leaves turning yellow or even falling off. This might mean it needs more or less water or some sunlight. And financial experts are concerned people will overspend this holiday season and add to their credit card debt. The Federal Reserve Bank of New York says during the third quarter of this year, U.S. credit card debt reached a record $1.8 trillion. Experts say the best way to control your spending is to make a budget before swiping your card.
It's all about how you use them. So definitely be mindful of that when mapping out your holiday strategy.
Experts also say to consider moving high interest and high debt over to a new card with 0% grace period that can last as long as 21 months and cut interest payments. Well, a proposed ordinance in Liberty Lake has some concern it will ban certain books from the library. Who will have the final say of what goes on the shelves if it's passed? Coming up here on 4 News Now at 6.
Download the KXLY Plus app for breaking news.
Santa baby, slip a sable under the tree for me. I've been an awful good girl, Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Santa baby, a 54 convertible to a light blue. I'll wait up for you, dear Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight.
Northwest Winterfest opens Friday, December 1st.
It's the Northwest's largest illuminated holiday and cultural festival, now indoors and bigger and better than ever, with displays up to 130 feet long and 25 feet high, plus live performances, free interactive children's activities, and free admission for kids 10 and under. So come celebrate the magic. Your discounted tickets are waiting at northwestwinterfest.com.
My dry eyes made me a burning, stinging 5 times a day.
Makeup smearing, drops user.
I want another option. That's not another drop.
Tyrvaya. It's not another drop. It's the first and only nasal spray for dry eye. Tyrvaya treats the signs and symptoms of dry eye disease fast by helping your body produce its own real tears. Common side effects include sneezing, cough, and throat and nose irritation.
Relying only on drops? Not me. My own real tears are my relief.
Ask your eye doctor about Tyrvaya.
Why join UFCW 3000? I'm the lead person when we negotiate with employers for better wages, benefits, and working conditions.
I appreciate UFCW 3000 for making sure we have fair wages, health care, and a pension plan. Things every working person deserves.
Our website can both answer your questions and connect you with our team who can help you explore your union opportunities.
Wow, it's literally the color of Santa's sleigh.
If I was Santa, this would be my sleigh.
So you just drive across the ocean?
I don't know. Maybe some of us still believe in a little thing called Christmas magic, so... Well, there you go.
Enter to win a shiny red Porsche. Grand prize drawing December 28th, only at Northern Quest.
4 News Now is brought to you by Numerica Credit Union.
Welcome back. On your screen right now is video of a Navy plane from Whidbey Island that ended up in the water near a marine base in Hawaii. The P-8 Poseidon tried to land in cloudy, raining conditions and limited visibility, but it overshot the runway and ended up in the water. No one on board was injured. Poseidon is a submarine hunting jet. The Navy says it was on a detachment in support of maritime homeland defense. Well, the Federal Appeals Court has made a major decision that could impact elections across the country next year. The appellate panel narrowly ruled Monday 2-1 that a key provision in the 1965 Voting Rights Act does not allow private citizens or civil rights groups to sue over alleged electoral discrimination based on race.
That would ban civil rights groups like the NAACP and ordinary private citizen plaintiffs from bringing lawsuits under this crucial provision of the Voting Rights Act, dramatically curtailing the reach of one of the nation's most powerful civil rights laws.
This all unfolding in Arkansas, where a local NAACP chapter brought a lawsuit under the act to block a redistricting ban, arguing it would result in black voters across the state being significantly underrepresented in the state legislature. But the court threw out the case.
This is a judge taking the line from one justice and deciding to upend the crown jewel statute of the civil rights era.
And the ruling is expected to be appealed to the U.S. Supreme Court, where it will likely be heard in 2024. In Washington, D.C., a federal appeals court could reinstate a limited gag order in the election interference case against former President Donald Trump. After the latest hearing, the panel of judges are inclined to impose further limitations on the gag order. ABC's Justin Finch has the story.
The unprecedented First Amendment hearing involving a former president who is now a criminal defendant lasting more than 2 hours. Donald Trump's lawyer, John Sauer, arguing that District Judge Tanya Chutkan's limited gag order imposed on Trump is unconstitutional.
It's not the role of the government to dictate what topics are appropriate or necessary to discuss in the context of a political campaign. The gag order does both of those things.
Labeling it core political speech begs the question of whether it is in fact political speech or whether it is political speech aimed at derailing or corrupting the criminal justice process.
The order stems from special counsel Jack Smith's 2020 election interference case against Trump. Judge Chutkan issuing a limited gag order last month following Trump's comments calling Smith deranged. Her order also extending to Smith's legal team, court staff, and potential witnesses. But Trump could still criticize the Justice Department, President Biden, the judge herself, and argue that the case is politically motivated. Sauer arguing that violates Trump's First Amendment rights. One of the three appeals judges then pressing Sauer's point.
He's subject to the law that applies to everyone. He's not above the law.
We certainly haven't argued that, Your Honor.
Cecil Van Devender, arguing for the special counsel, said that Supreme Court precedent supports limited restrictions on Trump's speech naming Smith. But one of the judges poked holes in that point.
He has to speak Miss Manners while everyone else is throwing targets at him.
It's not clear when the court will rule in this case, but Trump's team has suggested they could eventually appeal to the Supreme Court depending on the outcome. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
All right, we have much more coming up tonight at 6:30, including ways to avoid overeating during the holidays.
Coming up, the fight over banned books continues in Liberty Lake.
Download the KXLY Plus app for weather every 10 minutes.
Shop local at the Tin Roof.
Let's take a test drive of this rugged Nissan Frontier, redesigned inside and out. There's plenty of power so you can take it anywhere, thanks to an upgraded suspension, steering system, and powertrain. The cabin has improved too with a new seat design, larger storage compartments, and a big touchscreen that's smartphone compatible. If you weren't interested in a Nissan Frontier in the past, it's time to reevaluate. Test drive one at the new Coeur d'Alene Nissan.
Did you know Idaho high school seniors graduating next spring are eligible for up to $8,000 in grant money for career training and education through Idaho Launch? Funds can be used to cover the cost of apprenticeships, job training, community college, and university programs that lead to in-demand careers. Funds are limited. Apply today. Students choose their own path, and Idaho Launch helps pay for it. Idaho Launch. Support in every direction.
The most anticipated rock holiday tradition returns. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, live in concert. Friday, November 24th, Spokane Arena. Tickets on sale now at ticketswest.com. A legendary blend of rock, classical, and holiday music for the entire family. Don't miss Trans-Siberian Orchestra, live in concert. The Ghosts of Christmas Eve.
I'm Jen, and I'm a member at Canopy Credit Union. I heard an ad on TV. It sounded like a situation that I was in, and I thought, not having the greatest credit, there's a story behind that. It's not just bad credit. It was like, no, like, we're here to just welcome you in and help build a future for you rather than judge you based on your past.
We are a place where when you come here, you feel that your story matters and that we're going to find some way to make your dreams become reality.
Shop local at the Tin Roof.
Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
Libraries connect us and censorship divides us.
The national topic of debate unfolds in Liberty Lake. Tonight at 7, the Liberty Lake City Council will hear an ordinance that would give them the final say over policies made by the library board. But many fear this could lead to a decision to ban certain books from the library. 4 News Now's Allison Martinez has the story.
For the Liberty Lake community, it's been a long year of discourse over City Council's authority over the library. The saga continues in tonight's meeting.
It's another chapter of the same story.
I'm really disappointed to see this issue coming up before our City Council again tonight. I felt like we had resolved it as a city.
The newest version of an ordinance that has been debated for months is on the agenda tonight. It includes changes like giving City Council final say over the library board. It would also give them the authority to ban books.
I think it's just more of an attempt by the City Council to place
authority for policy making at the city council level, which is where it is for all of the other departments in the city.
But according to members of the community and Councilwoman Kurtz, the public has largely advocated against this.
The matter was resolved. The residents voiced their opinion. The mayor vetoed that ordinance, and at the end of the day, that part of democracy is not being respected.
So why is it returning to the agenda now? Results from the most recent election allow a very brief period where conservatives in favor of controlling the library board could hold a supermajority vote.
Tonight's action feels very sneaky to me. It feels like there's a very narrow window of opportunity for an agenda to be pushed.
Tonight's City Council meeting is at 7 p.m. You can watch it online or in person at City Hall.
For updates on this story, you can visit our website, kxly.com. Reporting in Liberty Lake, Allison Martinez, 4 News Now.
All right, and we'll let you know what happens there tonight. Now, we have some really big news to share. The 4 News Now family just got a little bit bigger.
It is our pleasure to introduce to you Kristen O'Connor's new baby boy with her husband Connor. It is Noah Joseph.
Yeah, Kirsten says he is 7 pounds, 7 ounces. And Kirsten, if you're watching, all of us cannot wait to meet this little bundle of joy.
But I will wait and resist storming the hospital. Well, here are 4 things to know about your weather. We have some light rain coming in overnight, mountain snow. It's going to be dry for Thanksgiving, and some cold weather ahead for the weekend, the coldest weather of the season so far. Here's a look at our satellite and radar right now, and we are just starting to see that wet weather making its way toward the Cascades. That will be moving into the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area sometime around midnight. Here's our latest computer model starting off at the current time with light precipitation. I have this set on the most sensitive setting, so it is not as heavy as it may look. Light precipitation starting around midnight. May start to see some snow mixing in with the rain in the northern valleys, but no accumulation until you get way up around 4,000 feet. We'll begin drying out around 4 or 5 in the morning in Spokane, a little bit later in Coeur d'Alene, but dry throughout the metro area by rush hour. And then we start to see some snow developing in those mountains from Lookout Pass down into the southern panhandle. Rain around the Lewiston area and lingering rain in Moscow before we dry out more completely around the region. Your Wednesday planner, a high of 41 tomorrow. 40 is our average high. Morning rain, early morning rain, and then partly to mostly cloudy skies through the day. I'll be back with a look at your Thanksgiving weather and a good look at past travel conditions. That's coming up in just a few minutes, Derek.
All right, Chris, thank you. An 18-year-old is in jail tonight for recklessly driving a U-Haul across Spokane Valley. The Spokane County Sheriff's Office says Devontae Lights almost hit another car while changing lanes. Deputies say as they try to pull him over, Lights then sped up to around 75 miles per hour. Eventually, deputies used a spike strip to stop the truck. Lights then got out and tried to run away. He was caught and taken into custody, and he now faces multiple charges. A 26-year-old woman could spend the next 20 years in prison for stealing more than $700,000 while working at Spokane Dermatology Clinic. Carol Casilla pleaded guilty to wire fraud in federal court. According to the Department of Justice, Casilla worked as an accountant for Spokane Dermatology from 2020 to 2023. The DOJ says she wrote unauthorized checks to herself and deposited them into her own account. She also transferred funds to a fake business she created to make the payments look like company expenses. According to court documents, she used some of that money to pay off her credit cards. Casilla will be sentenced in February. Well, firefighters were able to save part of a home in Medical Lake that was engulfed in flames last night. With those flames being seen from a distance, crews from Fairchild, Spokane County, and Airway Heights rushed in to protect outbuildings and a portion of the home. The fire was ruled an accident, and thankfully no one was hurt. Well, one local restaurant is hosting a Thanksgiving-themed event tomorrow at its Coeur d'Alene and Sandpoint location. City Burger is in studio tonight to tell us how you could get a free meal.
Yeah, Derek, the Burger Doc's 5th annual Giving Thanks event is tomorrow night, which means the restaurant is giving away a free meal for anyone in the community, no strings attached. I spoke with the owner, Claire Anderson, earlier today. She said their event gets more popular each year, and she hopes to serve 400 meals this year between the 2 locations. The Burger Doc always looks for ways to help and support their community, and Claire says this event does exactly that.
Our brand has really always been about giving back to the community and has been rooted in a love for Sandpoint originally, and then obviously Coeur d'Alene with our 2nd location. And we thought it would be a really fun and special way to give back to the communities that we call home.
You can stop by the Burger Doc tomorrow from 4 to 6 p.m. It is first come, first serve, so also be prepared to wait in line. And the most important part, the free meal includes a burger, sweet potato fries, and a pumpkin pie shake. You can watch the full interview along with other exclusive content on our KXLY Plus app. You're able to download the app on your smart TV and have access to live updates, breaking news, and weather every 10 minutes. Reporting in studio, I'm Sydney Berger, 4 News Now.
Sounds like it's worth a trip across the border for sure. All right, Thanksgiving just 2 days away, and there are a few things you should know about planning and cleaning up for the big meal. That includes food waste reduction, and there are a few ways you can cut down on the amount of food you're throwing out. One, have a grocery list on hand while you're out shopping and stick to portion sizes to avoid overbuying. Another tip, ask guests to bring to-go containers to take home leftovers. You can also donate non-perishable items to local food banks. We have more tips on how you can plan ahead to avoid wasting food inside of this story on KXLY.com. Now, overeating is common during Thanksgiving. We're all guilty of it. One dietitian with Multicare says one way to avoid overeating is to simply slow down.
You know, when we practice mindful eating, we want to try and eat slower. When we eat too quickly, we are prone to overeating because there is a delay between our stomach and our brain.
Another tip, limit the size of your plate. Experts say the bigger the plate, the more we put on it, which can lead to overeating. And while a lot of us are feeling gratitude for many things in our lives this Thanksgiving week, one Spokane Valley man is thankful he's even alive. This past June, Brad Garrett had a heart attack and says he's here today because the Spokane Valley Fire Department saved his life. Garrett called 911 with severe chest pains one morning in June and said SVFD arrived in just 3 minutes. Firefighters performed CPR, then took him to the hospital where Garrett had to stay for 48 days. When he was finally healthy enough to leave, he went back to that station to thank the firefighters who helped him.
They had to do CPR for about 8 minutes until I came back, and then I died about 8 more times after that same morning. But without them being there so fast, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
One of the firefighters who helped Garrett that morning said a lot of times they don't know what happens to their patients once they drop them off at the hospital. But he had their medic check in on Garrett.
They got back and said the guy he lived with no deficits, so that was great news. But then when he showed up here one day, it was like, holy moly, it was crazy.
Garrett and his wife said they are thankful for all the first responders who helped him. He's now healthy and has since moved to Missouri with his wife. Pretty great story. 4 News Now will be right back.
Download the KXLY Plus app for live updates all day.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Washington Cares Fund.
Did you just buy a new home and don't have a lot of extra cash on hand for furniture? Or are you upsizing your home and need to fill it? Consign Furniture in Liberty Lake can help by saving you thousands on decorating your home. With over 60,000 square feet of inventory, we have a variety of unique, budget-friendly items that will add value while saving you a ton of money. And the best part? You don't have to overspend. Buy here and save up to 70% off retail with countless designer name brand options to choose from. Consign Furniture, the smart way to buy, easy way to sell.
Spokane and North Idaho's country leader.
Drinking watermelon moonshine. Oh, Lord, when it rains, it pours.
The big 99.9 Coyote Country.
Gear up for the season at the General Store, your one-stop shop for gifts, toys, and unbeatable deals. Navigate the season effortlessly with our gift guide, a treasure trove of thoughtful presents for all. Our enormous toy section is a joyous wonderland, offering timeless classics and the latest trends for your little ones. Don't miss our upcoming Black Friday sale. 3 days of captivating discounts, doorbuster deals, and holiday bliss at smile-worthy prices. At the General Store, we're your one-stop holiday shopping destination.
However you do the holidays, do it together in the Chevy that's right for you. The strong and capable Chevy Silverado, the award-winning Chevy Equinox, or the all-new Chevy Trax. This holiday season, do more together in a new Chevy. Get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Silverado 1500 pickups, or get $5,250 total value on this Silverado with a TurboMax engine. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
It's that time of year again. The lights at Cowley Park are going to be lit up this holiday season, and we've got a lot of new stuff coming in. It's going to be a wonderful ground display. 4 News Now, the Extreme Team, Making Spirits Bright. Brought to you by Ace Hardware and Horizon Credit Union.
Next, E.T.
I'm hanging with Garth Brooks at his new honky tonk in Nashville.
Hey, E.T., come on in.
Plus,
We're the Garcia twins, and we're spilling the E.T.
Next, E.T.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
I can't wait to see Dancing with the Stars celebration of my eras.
Calling all Swifties.
Get ready to sing and dance along to her biggest hits.
Dancing with the Stars, live tonight on ABC and Disney+.
All right, welcome back. Take a look at this. These are the top Thanksgiving side dishes from each state, according to HubScore. Washingtonians appear to prefer the sharp tanginess of cranberry sauce. I think of that more like a condiment rather than
a side dish?
Full side, right? While Idahoans are all about green bean casserole, which you take a little exception to because mashed potatoes.
It's made up. I'm from Southeast Idaho, which is the heart of the potatoes and famous potatoes. It's Idaho.
I'd go with stuffing personally as my favorite side.
And I do love the potatoes. They are outstanding. Hopefully all Idahoans would agree with me. But let's talk more about weather. I think everyone can agree that it is pretty good conditions for driving around the inland Northwest and beyond. Here's a look at our area passes. It is dark, but if you could see, you would see dry roads. We're going to start to see some rain moving into Snoqualmie, a little bit of a rain-snow mix in Stevens Pass. It's going to stay dry overnight for 4th of July and Lookout, and then early tomorrow morning, we'll begin to see a rain-snow mix at Lookout and flat-out rain at 4th of July. Here is your forecast for tomorrow. All rain in Snoqualmie at the pass level. You have to go into the high mountains to find snow. Stevens Pass, a rain-snow mix, but no accumulation of any snow. Lookout Pass could see up to 2 inches of snow by late tomorrow. And the 4th of July, it looks like it is going to stay as rain. And so that is some good news. If you are hopping on an airplane tomorrow or waiting for someone to arrive, it is very quiet. Here's a look at our radar nationally, and man, it is crickets chirping all the way till we get to where most of the people live. We do have some snow and windy conditions. There's been just some delays in Boston, also for some severe weather further to the south and the mid-Atlantic airports. However, they're minor, hour and a half. And tomorrow, this front exits and things get real quiet on the East Coast here and throughout the country for that matter. And then as we get into Thursday, the focus of travel concerns shifts mainly for driving as we get into the Intermountain West with some snow there. But overall, not too bad and fantastic travel conditions around the inland Northwest. Really, the only trouble spot will be early tomorrow morning with that rain coming in. 41 degrees for a high tomorrow. 42 on Thanksgiving with partly cloudy skies. We may wake up with some patchy fog, but then some sunshine in the afternoon. There's cooler weather coming for Friday and especially into the weekend. In fact, the coolest weather of the season so far with highs only in the 30s. However, it is coming along with some bright sunshine, especially Friday and Saturday. We're going to stay below average through the end of the 7-day forecast, but also stay dry through the end of the 7-day forecast. Julian?
Well, thank you, Chris. A rivalry always has two sides. What Washington Huskies coach Kalen DeBoer had to say about the upcoming matchup against the Cougars. Next in sports.
Download the KXLY Plus app for breaking news.
Celebrate the holidays and the magic of the season at Madison Home Market. Madison Home Market is the perfect place to find holiday gifts and festive decor to warm your home. From unique furniture to one-of-a-kind ornaments.
Madison Home Market, 2928 North Madelia.
Helping the communities thrive aligns with BECU's core values. One event that I'm really proud of that we support is the Nonprofit Showcase.
You know, I think the coolest part of this event is the ability for the public to see so many different nonprofits in one spot. And then you get that chance to understand how you might be able to engage best with each of them.
I'm proud to say that they're going to be doing it again, and I want to encourage everybody to come out, learn a little bit what's going on in your community, and spend some time potentially volunteering and find something that you're passionate about.
However you do the holidays, do it together in the Chevy that's right for you. The strong and capable Chevy Silverado, the award-winning Chevy Equinox, or the all-new Chevy Trax. This holiday season, do more together in a new Chevy. Get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Silverado 1500 pickups, or use your Red Tag bonus cash to get $5,250 total cash allowance on this Silverado. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
This is important information from AARP and BECU. 820,000 Washington State residents are family caregivers. November is Family Caregivers Month, and they deserve our recognition. We must continue working towards solutions to save caregivers time and money and provide support. AARP is launching I Am a Caregiver. It's a nationwide movement to support caregivers. Let's make sure our lawmakers know how important this critical task really is. To find out how you can raise your hand and join in the effort, visit this website.
Did you know Idaho high school seniors graduating next spring are eligible for up to $8,000 in grant money for career training and education through Idaho Launch? Funds can be used to cover the cost of apprenticeships, job training, community college, and university programs that lead to in-demand careers. Funds are limited. Apply today. Students choose their own path, and Idaho Launch helps pay for it. Idaho Launch. Support in every direction.
Celebrate the holidays and the magic of the season at Madison Home Market. Madison Home Market is the perfect place to find holiday gifts and festive decor to warm your home. From unique furniture to one-of-a-kind ornaments.
Madison Home Market, 2928 North Madelia.
4 News Now is brought to you by Findlay Downtown Toyota.
All right, welcome back. The Cougs and Huskies will meet in the 115th Apple Cup on Saturday. There is a lot in line for both teams. Washington State is playing for a bowl game. Washington hoping to keep its national championship hopes alive. Julian Minnesone joins us in the studio. And Julian, the Cougs are looking to spoil the Huskies' playoff chances.
Yeah, they would love nothing more, right? Washington has a lot to lose right now, and that means the Cougars will be coming in loose and ready to go. No Pac-12 team has ever won a national championship in the college football playoff era, let alone gone undefeated in conference play. The Huskies are looking to be the first. Right now, Washington is a 16.5-point favorite over Washington State. The Huskies have also won 8 of the last 9 Apple Cups. But Washington head coach Kalen DeBoer says none of that matters in a rivalry game.
They certainly are coming into play and have something to play for, and we know that. And I think there's just rivalry games. You throw the records out, and you know, it's the last game of the season. You know, you want bragging rights, you know, for the next 12 months.
And your Sports Giving Weekend coverage starts tomorrow with Alex and I. We will all be reporting live from Seattle, starting with the pivotal home game for the Seahawks against the 49ers on Thanksgiving Day. That'll be followed by the Apple Cup kicking off at 1 o'clock Saturday. We will have live reports and updates on 4 News Now and streaming on your connected TV's free KXLY Plus app. Gonzaga basketball took a break from the beach and returned to the court at the Maui Invitational. The Bulldogs were looking to bounce back from Monday's loss to Purdue. Gonzaga taking on Syracuse. The Bulldogs were looking for more threes and less turnovers because that's where they struggled against Purdue on Monday. Then again, You don't need threes when you got a big fella like that. Graham Ike finishes with 16 points and 14 rebounds in this one. Here are the Zags with it again. They catch Syracuse sleeping on defense. Anton Watson for the easy slam. Gonzaga was in control, up by 14 at halftime. Syracuse climbed back into it, though. Judah Mintz with the acrobatic layup gets it to fall. That cuts Gonzaga's lead to 6. But here come the Bulldogs on the other end. Ryan Nembhard can't get it to go, but the Bulldogs, they grab the offensive rebound. They had a lot of those, and it swings over to Nolan Hickman, and that's cash money. Gonzaga wins 76-57. Now, Gonzaga had 18 turnovers in this game. Not good, but they out-rebounded the Orange by 20.
I was really, really proud of our response. We came out with great energy, came out with great effort, and obviously great toughness as it showed with the rebound differential.
Now, Gonzaga will take on UCLA on Wednesday at 9 p.m. in a rematch from last year's classic Sweet 16 matchup. We talked about it earlier when UCLA and Gonzaga go head-to-head. It always seems like a pretty good matchup. You had the Sweet 16 last year with the Julian Strother shot. You had Jalen Suggs in the final, four a couple years ago. So
Adam Morrison going way back for a long time ago in the tournament as well.
Where he was on the floor. I don't need to remind Zag fans about that one. So, yeah, should be exciting.
All right. Well, here is a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight. It is Taylor Swift night on Dancing with the Stars. Of course it is. At 8, followed by Press Your Luck at 10. Then you can join us for 4 News Now Nightside at 11. We'll be right back.
Download the KXLY Plus app for weather every 10 minutes.
All these kids from one dad. Next, Inside Edition, can you believe they share the same dad? They're all siblings. Siblings! Then, is this new movie based on the life of the notorious teacher, Mary Kay Letourneau?
It's a very complex and human story.
The real-life similarities to the teacher who had an affair with her student. Next, Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7.
Do you show your Vandal pride? Dave sure does. He proudly dons the silver and gold when he's at work, mowing the yard, and especially on game day.
Hey, can we get 3 tacos? I got this.
Where did you get that?
You don't have a Vandals debit card?
Don't worry, Dave. You can get your Vandal debit card by visiting p1fcu.org/GoVandals. Go Vandals!
What is a jewelry design center? It's a diamond superstore, a center for engagement rings, wedding bands, and anniversary rings, a showroom with unique creations as well as award-winning designers, a fun, comfortable, no-pressure place where you're free to make big, small, or even no decisions at all. We are not your average jewelry store. We are Jewelry Design Center, and we want to be your jeweler for life.
Attention, RV shoppers! R&R RV in North Spokane has just lowered prices on every motorhome, fifth wheel, and travel trailer in stock. Last year's models are slashed to the lowest clearance prices you will ever find. We're talking jaw-dropping savings on Montana, Rockwood, Cougar, Winnebago, and more. Don't delay. R&R RV's fall clearance sale is on now. Quit dreaming. Just do it. Hurry to R&R RV to claim your new RV and save thousands. Shop indoors at R&R RV in North Spokane, 525 East Francis, or shop now at rnrrv.com.
Granite Concepts brings your vision of new countertops to life in 5 easy steps. 1. Preview over 150 slabs on our website, then in person. 2. We'll professionally laser template your project. 3. We'll design your countertop by digitally plotting the most beautiful areas from your hand-selected slab. 4. We'll precision cut a perfect fit and customize with one of a variety of edge profiles. And 5. We'll immaculately install your new countertops in less than a day. Granite Concepts. Beauty set in stone.
4 News Now is brought to you by Mechanics Pride.
Coming up tonight on Nightside, a mysterious illness spreading among pets across the country. What you need to know if you're planning on boarding your dog this holiday weekend.
Well, if you sleep in on Wednesday, you'll miss the rain. It is going to be over before the morning commute. And then we are going to be staying dry through a really nice Thanksgiving day. 42 degrees for a high is actually a couple of degrees above average. We're cooling down, but bringing in the sunshine for the weekend. Some overnight lows. Boy, down in the lower 20s. It's pretty chilly, not that far below average, but we've been spoiled with a mild late fall.
Yeah, no doubt. That turkey on this Evan Day doesn't look too worried at all about what's coming up either.
I don't know. I think the weather department will spare him. We'll pardon him.
Download the KXLY Plus app for live updates all day. See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.